All right, let's dive into The Sowing, a really profound story about a man who comes back home after decades of self-imposed exile, only to discover that the very past he tried so hard to escape holds the key to a future he couldn't have even imagined.
And this quote right here, it just nails it, doesn't it? It's really the soul of the entire story. It's all about purpose, about legacy, and about doing the right thing, even if you're not going to be around to enjoy the benefits. It's a powerful idea to hold on to as we get into this. So let's meet our main character, Alexei Dolokhov. Picture this. He's a man who has lived a hard life abroad, and he's finally returning to his family estate back in Russia. He hasn't set foot there in over 20 years, and the only reason he's back now is because he got news that his estranged brother Dmitri has died.
Now, think about that for a second. 23 years gone. Just like that. It all kicks off in 1869 with this quarrel. Super vague, right? But it was bitter enough to make him leave everything behind. For the next 2 decades, he's basically a ghost, wandering through Europe and America, trying to outrun his past. But then, in 1892, one letter arrives and it pulls him right back into the life he abandoned.
So Alexei gets to this crumbling estate, right? And he's not getting any easy answers. Instead, his brother steward just hands him 2 things, a sealed letter and a secret leather-bound journal that Dmitri left for him.
And this is where the bomb drops. That letter, it finally reveals what the quarrel was all about. And get this, it wasn't about land, it wasn't about money. No, it was so much more personal. It was about a woman, Natalia Petrovna. Turns out both brothers were in love with her, and Dmitri deliberately sabotaged Alexei's engagement by poisoning her mind against him, a total betrayal.
The journal, man, it just cracks open his brother's tormented soul. You see, Dmitri spent his entire life trying to make up for what he did. He built schools, helped the local peasants, all these good deeds. But as he writes here, he knew it was all empty. He wasn't acting out of love. He was acting out of guilt, desperately trying to buy his way to a clear conscience. And the thing is, it never worked. He was never at peace.
This slide really lays it all out, side by side. Dmitri's path, it was a total dead end. It was all about him, this inward spiral of trying to pay off some cosmic debt. But Alexei, as we're about to see, finds a totally different way forward. His path is about service, about forgetting himself and just giving freely, with no strings attached.
So this is it. This is the challenge Dmitri leaves for his brother, and it's so much more than just, hey, forgive me. He's asking Alexei to take over his life's work, but to do it with the genuine love that he could never manage. Talk about a heavy request to lay on the man whose life you ruined.
So, with all this new information swirling in his head, Alexei is forced to face the ghosts of his past head-on. His brother, through these writings, and, well, the woman he lost.
Reading that journal just completely upends Alexei's entire reality. The brother he had painted as this cold-hearted villain for 23 years was actually just a man, completely eaten up by remorse for one terrible mistake. His entire identity, this story he told himself about being the wronged man, was built on a lie, or at least half a truth. The whole foundation of his life just crumbles. And then, just when you think things can't get any more intense, the past literally walks through his front door. It's Natalia Petrovna. She's older now and she's terminally ill. She heard he was back and has come to ask for his forgiveness before she dies. In their conversation, which is just full of sadness for what could have been, something just clicks for Alexei. He has this huge realization. He understands that forgiving her, and in doing so forgiving his brother, isn't really about letting them off the hook. It's about letting himself out of the cage of resentment he's been locked in for over 2 decades. It's a gift he's giving to himself.
He's free, and with that freedom, he turns his eyes to the future. He decides he's going to honor his brother's last wish, but he's going to do it his way, a way that's completely radical. He's found a new purpose.
And you know, sometimes fate just steps in. Out of nowhere, he gets this massive, unexpected inheritance from a distant cousin he barely knew. Suddenly, he has the money to do more than just manage an estate. He has the power to completely reinvent it.
So what's his big plan? Oh, it's absolutely revolutionary for the time. He uses the money to just blow up the whole feudal system. He buys out the peasants' debts, he carves up the entire estate, and he gives it, to the families who work it. Then he helps them set up their own elected council, and he steps back. He chooses to live among them, not as a lord, but as a neighbor.
But how do you think the peasants react? With a big parade? No way. Look at this. They are deeply suspicious. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. For generations, the system has been designed to take from you. And now, some aristocrat you've never met is just giving you everything? It has to be a trick, right? Their first reaction is fear and confusion, with just a tiny sliver of hope.
All right, so this brings us to the final chapter of Alexei's life. He's planted the seeds of this brand new community, and now we get to see what kind of harvest they produce, what his legacy really becomes.
This table just lays it out so clearly. It's night and day. Dmitri was always looking backward, trying to fix the past, but Alexei found meaning by building for the future. For Dmitri, goodness was this impossible thing he could never achieve because of his guilt. For Alexei, it was just trying. It was about the effort. And legacy? For Dmitri, it was a burden. For Alexei, it was a garden he was planting for other people.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? He doesn't find peace by erasing his painful past. He finds it by transforming that pain. He uses everything he learned from the betrayal, the exile, the forgiveness, and he uses it as fertilizer to grow something new and hopeful for everyone else.
Years go by and a journalist visits the commune to see how it's doing. And what he finds is not some perfect, shiny utopia. It's real, it's messy, it's full of arguments and problems, because it's full of people. But he sees they have something incredibly rare, a shared sense of purpose. And he says that is what's valuable, not perfection, but purpose.
And that brings us full circle, right back to that quote about planting trees. The story kind of turns the mirror back on us and leaves us with this powerful question. It's asking us to think about our own lives, about our own actions, and about the legacy we're building, big or small, for a future we might not even be around to see. So what are you planting today?